I do have somebody coming back.
Okay. Welcome into Rover Sports, guys. Welcome into the show. Going to try to do about a 4-minute video on what I think here. So I have a little bit of time right now to talk about the new Monday Night Football announcing crew. We have Joe Tessitore, which I believe is a big improvement over Sean McDonough. I wasn't a Sean McDonough fan. His voice cracks like a teenage schoolgirl. And, Sean McDonough, when he was announcing Monday Night Football, it just was bland. It didn't have the pop and sizzle. Tirico was really good. But I'll tell you what, I like Tessitore. Him and Todd Blackledge did a really good job with college football. So I think Tess is going to be a guy that's going to go into the booth and do a pretty nice job. But Jason Witten is the guy I'm really excited about. You saw Tony Romo make the adjustment. The Cowboys and Romo, I don't remember a lot of classic interviews from Tony Romo, like after football games. But you saw how excited Romo's been. You've seen him and Nance kind of click. And Romo's been a guy that just has great enthusiasm for the game of football. Jason Witten seems to have that same approach. And also, he's young. He's going to draw in curiosity. When Romo was doing the games last year, I was really curious to see how Romo would adapt. And he's young. He just came from playing football. He knows the league really well. So I'm excited to have Witten in Monday Night Football. I really am. And then you look at Booger McFarland. This is a guy, Booger, that, it's hard to find people that don't like Booger. Big offensive lineman, I think. I know he played for LSU. I didn't really watch him growing up, but he's just a guy that I've loved for college football. I still hope that he can jump on college football live because the college football guys are tremendous. Kirk Herbstreit is great. Chris Fowler is awesome for ESPN. So I look at now Monday Night Football. It would have been fun to maybe have Fowler or maybe have like Gus Johnson. I am a big Gus Johnson guy, like a guy that really puts enthusiasm into the game, a guy that's a ton of fun to watch. But I look at Monday night, I don't think that this crew is bad at all. Of course, I like John Gruden. Jaws was interesting. I really don't have a problem with a lot of guys who call games, and a lot of people they like Troy Aikman and they like Joe Buck, but I always felt like Joe Buck, hates the Giants, and you can listen back to the calls of the Tyree catch and all the other sort of calls that Joe Buck has made for the Giants in the NFC playoffs, and I kind of feel like him being a St. Louis Cardinals fan, I feel like he's a Cowboys fan, him and his dad. So I feel like he hated the Giants, and I feel like he's jealous of Giants, but I bet a lot of people don't like Joe Buck for those reasons. I look at Nance. I think Nance is okay. Phil Simms, even though he's a Giant, was a little bit bland, so I really like Romo. Actually, Mike Mayock is he's pretty good at breaking down the game. I like guys that'll take the time to break down the game and not just say the obvious thing, and Troy Aikman to me is obvious. I look at the hierarchy of the announcers, and a lot of people don't like the guy on NBC, Chris Collinsworth, but I really like Collinsworth. So I like Michaels and Collinsworth a lot, actually. And people think Collinsworth's annoying, but he at least tries to break down offensive line. He at least will pipe up players. So I think that ESPN did a decent job with the Monday Night Football announcers, and that is kind of what I wanted to lead the show with today. Also, some news around sports. We officially have about 2 months until the NFL starts their training camps. I enjoyed going back this week. I watched some Gruden camp films this week. I was able to watch Kirk Cousins. He did a really cool thing called Wake Up Call with Kyle Lauletta, Josh Allen, and Kurt Benkert. So I've still been watching football-related things, and I'm curious to see how you guys have been spending the offseason. I hear that there's a show out on the Dallas Cowboys. I might start watching that on Amazon Prime. Also, you look at the NBA playoffs. The Boston Celtics go up 3-0 on the Sixers, a crazy turn of events. It would have been much more likely that the Sixers would be up 3-0 if you looked at the Vegas odds and you look at the best players in this series. But Embiid's been a guy that's been inconsistent. Ben Simmons hasn't been attacking the rim at the levels that he should be attacking the rim at. And Ben, he just needs to develop that alpha dog mentality. So I look at Ben Simmons, and this is a guy that honestly needs to start driving to the rim, getting fouled, not being afraid of failure with missing jump shots. And the Sixers, they need Covington, they need J.J. Redick to continue to play well. They've been really close. This series has come down to Al Horford playing well, Jason Tatum becoming a star player, and the Celtics, they just hit on every single draft pick. So even though Hayward and Kyrie Irving are not in the game, Tatum, Horford, Marcus Smart, they still have depth and they still have a talented team. And I still think that they're going to get a couple of games on LeBron James. But looking at this series, the Sixers aren't done. You win tonight, you go back to Boston Game 5. That Game 5 is going to be so intense. All the pressure is going to be on Boston to win Game 5. And if Boston cannot win Game 5, then the Sixers have a 50-50 chance of winning this whole series. So looking at the Sixers, Ben Simmons is so special. Bellinelli is a special player that can hit a lot of off-balance shots. The Sixers are going to be a team that I think are not done yet. I'm going on record. I think the Sixers have a very good chance of still competing in Game 5 and getting out of Boston with a win. And I think tonight is going to be a rout for the 76ers. So also the other storyline of the playoffs, it's looking like Houston's defense is really a lot better than I thought. You know, you looked at the Utah Jazz, Donovan Mitchell's very good, Rudy Gobert is pretty good. But the Houston defense, Clint Capella's fantastic. Chris Paul and James Harden have just been a little bit too much for Utah to handle. So I still think Golden State beats Houston in 5 or 6 games. Kevin Durant is too damn good. And then I think it's going to be Cavs and Warriors, the 4th time that we're going to see these two teams play again in the NBA Finals, which, again, the NBA has no parity whatsoever. But, again, you either pick Golden State or you pick LeBron James. And LeBron James, I mean, you kind of get tired of talking about how dang good this guy is. I mean, now he's adding in the clutch buzzer-beating shots. There is no way that you can go ahead and insult this guy's game. He is a combination of Magic and Jordan, and it doesn't matter who's playing with LeBron James. Never doubt him in the Eastern Conference. I didn't do it, but a lot of people were like, Indiana has a chance. A lot of people were like, you know, the Boston Celtics or the Toronto Raptors won all these games in the regular season. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if LeBron has one leg. It doesn't matter if they're an 8th seed, if they have Delonte West going back on their team, if they have Ilgauskas playing at 60 years old. He's still looking like a crazy vampire guy. Doesn't matter if Boobie Gibson is on that team. Doesn't matter if Zerbiak's on that team. It does not matter. LeBron James will always win the Eastern Conference. Period. Put it in the books. It's just a guarantee of life at this point. It's one of the few guarantees of life that we still have going from 2006 to 2018. So, listen. That's the rundown today. I'm going to be doing some NFC South preview talks with my guy Pigskin Pete, my guy Jet Central. Overall, I like Monday Night Football. I like what they have done. I am so excited for us to see some football. I am so excited for us to get to training camp and continue to get our way towards this training camp season. And listen, guys, have a wonderful day, and I'll try to check in with you guys in a bit.